Good afternoon and blessings, everybody. What's going on? It's your man, Rod Hickman, Generational Wealth Builders, where poverty ends with us. Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome to November. Good God Almighty. We're already in the month of November. Y'all, I can remember when we were just talking about, 2024 and all this, that, and the third. But, folks, now we're here standing on the precipice of the year of our Lord 2025. And, again, as I look back over the year, I've already been reflecting, but as I've been looking back over the year, I can tell you, whereas I wanted to be in a much higher state, I promise y'all, I can't complain about where we are. The Lord has been very, very kind to us, and we're so glad to be on today to just talk for a few minutes. Again, a lot of things have transpired throughout this year. Again, good things, and as the songwriters say, I've had good days. I've had some hills to climb and all that there. But the fact is, when I put it on a scale, I see that I had way, way, way more good days than I had not so good days. I got further than I actually thought I would. You know how it is when you're preparing yourself and you're saying, hey, man, I want to, do thus and so, thus and so. And you want to be in this area, but you don't get to it. So again, what I just want to say to everybody is you still have time. I don't care what your goal was as you started the year off. You may not be where you want to be, but keep making progress. Don't stop grinding. Don't stop grinding. I don't care if you want to make $100,000. If you want to finish your degree and you quit, get back in there and don't stop grinding. That'll be the message that I'll leave with you on today. Well, listen, I am super excited about my guest that I have on today. So it's not just going to be me on here prattling along. But as you know, we have a wonderful agency that is growing. We are growing in leaps and bounds, and I'm so thankful to the Lord for that. But we have really, really been intentional about focusing on building in the Covington area. I mean, we have a vibrant office in Memphis. We have a growing, budding office in Dyersburg. We have another budding office in Union City. But the headquarters for Generational Wealth Builders is right here. We got some agents down in Florida, Richard and Lamisha Hughes down there in Port St. Lucie, Sakala, Holness, Jimmy Erskine down there. Again, we got some leaders that are coming on, really getting ready to do some good things. But I'm excited about this individual that I'm about to present to you all now. I remember when she came to me, it was at a interesting time in her life, and she was in a very interesting position. And I presented a challenge to this individual, and this individual rose to the challenge. And so without any further ado, I am excited to present to some and introduce to others Lady Kenesha Dawson, the CEO of Next Level Legacy Generational Wealth Building. Lady Dawson, how you doing?
I'm well, Rod. Thank you so much for having me. How are you today?
We out here in these mean streets. You already know it.
Let's get it.
Yeah, now. Now, listen, I've been really, really impressed with your grind. I've been really impressed with how you have. Well, before we get into all that, won't you introduce yourself to everybody? Tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Kenesha Dawson, and I am Next Level Legacy. Now, I kind of got into this business, as Rob briefly said, at a hard time in my life. My father had recently passed away, and that brought the realization of what the value that life insurance really brings to families. Mm-hmm. And that's where I started. It was a heartbreaking thing to sit there at their funeral home and, and she wants to know, like, where's the policy? How much is the policy for? And yeah, the cookies didn't crumble in our favor sitting in front of Ms. Barlow. Mm-hmm. And that right there got the wheels turning of how can I make this better for the next person? How can I assist people in my community not sit here and feel the way I felt?
Wow, that's powerful. So I know you say you felt some kind of way, but can you take us through that pain, right? Because, here we go again. It took you to sit in that seat mm-hmm. in order to experienced that pain and it brought about action, right?
Correct.
Maybe if you shared your pain, like what it really felt like. I mean, like take us through that as you sat there, because maybe somebody has not went through that and they need to hear what it is that you actually went through. And that might help them say, you know what, yeah, let me take a little picture because I don't want to go through that.
Gotcha. Let me take you on a quick ride.
Let's
All
go.
right, so my father served, and he was married. So I guess in everybody's head, everybody kind of thought that perhaps this person has it, that person has it, or because he served, the government is going to take care of it. And no one had that in-depth conversation of, in the event that life happens, this is what I need you to do. My father did not have that conversation with anyone. I was his caretaker, and when he passed away, it was sudden. It was very sudden. We got a call in the middle of the night, and it was the officer basically saying, hey, he's gone. So, and as we move forward on, trying to figure out how do we lay our loved one to rest, because it's a hurting feeling, knowing that you got to tap into this savings and to this other account to do what you need to do, because your heart is tied to your loved one. You want to make sure that you put them away respectfully. You want to make sure that you do that last deed in the right way.
Right.
But unfortunately, no one was proactive about that. So he didn't have any type of policies that were going to come through. So in turn, when we sat there, they tell you pick out this, you pick out the spray, you pick out the casket, you pick everything out, down to the motorcycles escorting you to and from. And then when she tells you that bottom line price, we kind of looked around at each other like, hey, well, who gonna speak up? And at that time, just you're thinking like, that's my daddy. You know what I'm saying? If don't nobody else do it, I'm gonna do it because that's mine. I came from him. He belonged to me and I belong to him. So then it kind of tugged on my heart, like, well, went home, talked to my husband, we're gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to do something. But the pain that I felt sitting there, knowing that it was nothing in place. And this could have been avoided by a simple conversation of, in the event that life happens, but we didn't have that. So in turn, we had to say, well, what do we need to cut off? Like that bottom dollar got up there. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, you want the top of the line spray. You want the top of the line casket. You want the vault. You want the escorts to and from. You want the limo ride. I mean, that it was adding up and it was adding up. But when she came down to the bottom line price, it was, what can we cut out?
Right.
What can we still do to show him we love, to show our love, not him, you know what I'm saying, because he's gone, but show our love in his final resting place. So then it came to, well, who gonna sign their name to do a payment arrangement? When in all actuality, if we just would have had a conversation of, this is what I want. Instead of buying these carton of cigarettes, put that money, give me a life insurance policy. Instead of buying A, B, C, and D every month when I get my money, go give me a policy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so important. I don't understand the stigma in our community where I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave them rich. Don't leave them with a bill.
Right.
I mean, and we went from there. We got it done. Don't get me wrong. We got it done, but it could have been done in a smoother manner if more thought and more planning had been into it. Because as the Bible says, sure as you live, you gonna die.
Exactly right. So let me ask you a question. And again, thank you so much for sharing that, right? Like I literally went there with you as you begin to share your story. So thank you so much for sharing, because it is the fact that we want our loved ones, we want their life and their legacy. We definitely want their legacy to be as verbose as the life that they live, right? We definitely want that. But, like you say, when you want to put them away, but your resources cause you to say about that, yeah, we're going to have to take that off. We got to take that off. That has a bit of pain to it. that has some pain to it. And I felt you when you were saying that. Out of all you were saying, that right there was the part that I think impacted me the most. The fact that you had to like put stuff back, right? And again, that's like when you go to the grocery store, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you put stuff in the thing, you don't want to have to take stuff out, right? But then when you realize, ooh, I done overspent, now I got to take some stuff out. But if it was stuff that you needed, now you're sitting there scratching your head trying to figure out what you're going to do, right?
And how you gonna get it done?
Exactly right. And so I heard you say that, you know, y'all had to put up and put in. And so I know you're a mother. So tell us about your babies.
All right. So I have three beautiful girls. I have two that have recently graduated from MTSU, and then I have a baby girl who is in high school. She's in the 10th grade in high school. Got one more pea in the pod.
Yep. And Diamond, or you gonna do Diamond like that? Okay.
Well, no, I can't leave Diamond out. We got a nice little bully at home, y'all. Short, wide body, and she is beautiful.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I'm asking about that, right, is because typically when we have to pull money, it typically pulls from what our children are able to do. So tell us a little bit about how that impacted, or if that impacted. I don't want to impute that upon you, but did that impact in a certain way when y'all had to cut down stuff?
Well, I wouldn't say it impacted, but I would say this. The money that we did do that with, if a policy would have been in place, I could be doing something else with it with my children.
Yeah.
You get what you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
But as a family, you know what I'm saying? My husband and my children were like, let's get it done. Like, we them people, we them champions that's gonna come through.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I love hearing that. Now, I know that you are a serial entrepreneur. You know, you like them Jamaicans on In Living Color. You know, how many jobs you got, right? You this, you that, and the third, so on, so on, so on, so. Did you ever see yourself as a life insurance agent?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But you have to understand the era that I grew up, the life insurance agencies didn't look like me.
Okay.
So it was never a set goal prior to my experience.
Okay. So now that you are a life insurance agent, what would you say is the biggest thing that now you're being a life insurance agent? What's the one lesson that you've learned above all?
This generation does not see the value that life insurance can add to your life. It's so valuable. And most of the times we say, right now, I can't afford it. But if you don't get those Jordans this month, if you don't go to Longhorns this month, if you don't go to Grisham this month,
not Grecian. Leave Grecian out of this. Hey. You just leave Grecians out of this now. I don't mind about the now. I'll tell you. But go ahead.
You know, I'm just saying, you know.
No, but that's right.
If you put a little bit back now to prepare for what you know has to come. I mean, and I heard a very wise man say, what other kind of love letter could you leave than to one of an agent or a broker to show up when the family is in turmoil, they're sad and they're burdened. Show up with a check. Sent from your loved one from the beyond.
That's right.
That's the love that keeps on giving. Because guess what? Even if it's more than what it needs to be to put them in the ground, now you have money, birthdays, Christmases, bar mitzvahs, whatever it is, you could be saying, Papa left you this. This is a gift from Papa. Papa didn't go to the store, click on Amazon and get it, but guess what? His coins did from their policy.
That's real.
So it's love that keeps on giving if you just do it the right way.
Right. And so it sounds like, because again, I'm just hearing what you're saying, but it sounds like you want families to experience that love. You want families to be able to be in position to, again, God forbid, if something happens, they can experience the value of life insurance. And so I'll add this point as well. For me, I think one of the main things that sold me on the platform that we're on is that our life insurance is actually life insurance and not death insurance.
Absolutely.
Because of the living benefits. And I heard you say that you were your father's caregiver. And so don't let me put words in your mouth. So did that mean you had to stop working your job, or you were working your job and as soon as you got off, you had to go to Pops? How did that work?
No, sir. No stop, no working. You just said I'm an entrepreneur. I got a lot of irons in the pot. Now we ain't stopping working. But what I did do was, I will say, I had my support team. Mm-hmm. The people around my mom, my grandma, my husband, my cousins. I had people around me that assisted with that. So when I got off work, if he needed to do A, B, and C, or he had a doctor's appointment, someone on the team was willing to do that. So it really helped out. Now, I'm not saying some days he didn't call and I had to leave work. Yes, that most definitely did happen. But for the most part, I was still able to go to work and aid him, but it just took a team.
That's right. And so let me ask you this question. So now, knowing that policies have the living benefits, mm-hmm. Do you think that would have allowed you to be able to, again, better manage your father's care while he was still here?
Absolutely. Especially now learning, since I've been in the business, that it's up to 80%. Yes, most definitely. So instead of me leaving work or the team moving however it moves, he would have had the cash to be able to, assist, to say, thank you for taking us all the way to Memphis to Baptist Memorial. Thank you for taking him to the VA, whatever, instead of it coming out of my personal account. So that most definitely would have assisted me in assisting him.
Exactly right. Wow. And like I say, I know for me, that was one of the things that, one of the lessons that I learned. And once I learned that lesson, because you used the word earlier, value. When you can see the value of something, it allows you to better be able to appreciate it, right? And I know personally, the living benefits are one of the things that I think that every family should have. I think every family should want to have that as they get ready to go forward, because we never know what's going to happen. I mean, again, what you said earlier was part excellent, right? We place value on making memories, but I think we forget that in the absence of good health, those memories become nightmares, right? Those
Correct.
Memories, and again, I know it's difficult, and a lot of times people won't say this out loud. But I know that a lot of the times people will be like, well, we, like you say, we them people, we gonna stand up for family. But at the same time, it's sometimes difficult to do. And again, shout out to you, and shout out to bro Mark out there, one of the baddest bass players this side of Mississippi.
You better say it.
Yeah, of course you gonna say it. Of course you gonna say it. All right.
Yeah.
All right, so just a couple more questions, and then we're gonna get on out of here. What drives you? What drives you to do this?
I think my drives come from I'm a helper, or a knowledgeable assistant. I like to assist people in my community that don't have the knowledge. The Bible says we die from lack of knowledge. So if I have it and I can share it with you, and maybe not let someone else go through what I rode through, or hey, don't catch that train because that train ain't even gonna make it. If I could help someone along the way, then I feel as if I did my job. You know what I'm saying? And it's free. I'm not gatekeeping the information. As I learn it, I'm reaching out to my circle, my corner, to the people that are around me, telling them, hey, this is here. And it's not like you think it is. It's not a scam. It's not, any of the things that you've been burnt by this person or that person. My goal is to get the information out there and to make people knowledgeable about it. Now, once I give you the knowledge, if you choose not to, then that's a personal reason. Take that up with them when you get to the gates. But as far as when you're here and you're in my circle, you connected to me, plug into the information. Because when I get it, I'm overflowing it out. And I need my community to know that GoFundMe is not a policy.
That's right.
That same energy you use to get that GoFundMe up and going, call that same family over and say, hey, Junior don't got no insurance. We all gonna put $10, $12, $7, whatever it is, and we gonna help him. So that when Junior do pass, you don't have to put that counter sale out there. You don't have to do that fish fry. You don't have to do whatever it is. Now, if you want to do it for the camaraderie of, because us African Americans, we do chicken drinks and all of that, when people pass. And I'm not saying don't do that, but I'm saying to raise the monetary value of it. Is ways out here around it.
Exactly right.
There's ways out here around it.
So let me ask you a question. So what's the minimum amount of life insurance that you think a working adult should have? And let me tell you why I'm asking this question, because I don't know if you've experienced this, but I know I have. I've experienced it where people say, well, I got insurance on my job, so I'm good to go.
Okay, so I just gotta say it.
Well, go on, say it.
Look, it's not yours. It's on the job, which means it belongs to the job, the place of employment. It's not yours. And they're going to tell you, oh, hey, yeah, when you leave, you can take it with you. But if you are allowed to take it with you, the price going to skyrocket so high, it's not going to be affordable. It's not going to be reasonable. If you have it on your job, you most definitely need it somewhere else. Think of it like this. You have a pair of church shoes, couple of pair of church shoes for my women out there, depending on what season it is. You got tennis shoes, you got boots for the winter. A life insurance policy can be the same thing. It depends on what it is. The same policy you had 30 years ago is you done had 2 kids, 2 grandkids, a dog and a cat. Life changed.
Yes.
You feel what I'm saying? And they feel like, oh, I got this on my job when I started 10 years ago. That's good. Your life has increased. So now you got this $10,000 policy. The spray is $5,000 to go on top of the casket. The motorcycle ride to and from is $600.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I think I heard you say that a spray that go on top can be $5,000.
$1,500.
$1,500. Oh, that
up to $50, and it could be more than that. You might want the white roses. You might want orchids. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying,
right.
With my experience on what I saw in those books, the spray itself. So that $10,000 you have at work. Then, and what if your family is really bereaved? Most of the time, right? How many days your job give you?
3.
Right.
Yep.
And in our community, we're buried in what? 7 to 14 days. So now you need some more days off, right?
Facts.
But if you got this policy pushing through for you that pop out on the left, you can afford to hit this FLMA and go home without pay. Because Papa don't set you up right, and you're passing along that generational wealth. Facts. It didn't stop with Papa.
Facts. I think, and I know y'all hear me say this quite often. People lie, numbers don't.
Right.
And I think, and feel free to correct me if you disagree, but I feel like what happens is, I feel like people are like, oh, well, I got $25,000 worth of life insurance, but they don't understand how quickly that $25,000 is gone. And I know when I sit down with a client or prospective client to do the appointment, one of the things that I instantly make sure that they understand is this. If one of y'all income earners should leave, you just lost their income. So whatever their money contribution was is gone now. And I don't think people understand the fact that, you know, it's a numbers game. Like, again, we have to talk numbers. And so people think $10,000 or $25,000 put somebody in the ground is all right. But again, you're not even addressing the fact that if you have a car, and so if wife and husband and one of them passed and they both had their own vehicle, now how you gonna pay for this vehicle?
Right.
What about their share of the bills? See, we don't think about that, and which goes back to the point you made about GoFundMe. GoFundMe is based on people's charity. And can we keep it a buck? Right about now, folk ain't too charitable. Because folk trying to keep their lights on, trying to keep stuff on at the house and stuff like that. And so I think it's you bring up a very, very valid point that, one, you need to know what you have. But even more important than knowing what you have, you need to know your numbers. How much do you need? And I think that's one of the things that people don't understand. You need to know how much you need, because nobody, I'm not going to say nobody, but the amount of insurance I need on me, the cat next door might not need that.
Correct.
What do you think about that?
Correct. That's absolutely correct.
And so that's why I've started this crusade, if you will, whereas I want to make sure that people understand that if you are a homeowner, I'm sorry, not a homeowner, but if you're married and have a family, then bare bones, you need to have at least $500,000 worth of life insurance on you if you're an income earner. If you're a homeowner, you need to have more, right? Because you want to make sure the home is paid off. You want to make sure that the vehicles are paid off. Because again, we see what happens to people after someone dies, but we just feel like, oh, well, that's just the way of the world. And that is so not true. And I don't know what other ways we can do to get that message out that you don't have to be poor, you know, because someone passed. If you, like you said, if you have the discussions earlier, you don't have to be. So I got one more question, and then I'll let you have final remarks and we'll get on out of here. So what is your goal going forward? What can we expect out of Kenesha Dawson, the Next Level Legacy family? What is it that we can expect from you here within this next 90 days?
Well, most definitely to assist families knowing the value of it, to assist them getting signed up, knowing their coverage need, because sometimes they say, I want it, but they don't know what they need. Like you said, moving forward, just look out for generational wealth. We on the come up, not only generational wealth, but next level legacy. We are out here and we're wanting to make sure that our community is educated on the value of life insurance. If you need that education on it, come see me. Exactly. If you need to know, is this a policy that I should have, tap in. If you need to know, well, I got this 401k, but the business is gone. What do I do with it? Reach out. If you don't know the difference between a term and a policy, seek the knowledge. That's all I need them to seek the knowledge. And when they tap in, we're going to get it to them.
Facts. Yeah. Facts. Well, it was my pleasure to have you on. Again, everybody out there, look, y'all heard it. Kenesha Dawson, the leader of the Next Level Legacy, generational wealth builders out here in the metropolitan city of Covington. We're looking for great things to come from her. Again, how can they get in touch with you, Kenesha, if they want to get a policy?
So you Facebook, Instagram, you can 901-592-8048 is my mobile number. We're right here on the square in Covington, Tennessee. You can swing by the office, tap into my Facebook page, Dan Dawson. Any information that you need from me there is there. If you have any questions and you don't want to inbox me, let's talk about it. Let's set a date up, an appointment, come by the office, and let's talk about it. Conversation is the key to anything.
All right. Well, that's phenomenal. Well, everybody, I was super excited again to have Lady Dawson here. As y'all can see, Covington, we are here. I will say by one announcement, in the absence of Lady Hickman, that we are going to have a cash Christmas where GWB is going to support 2 families this Christmas. Okay. But what we do is we need nominations for those families. Now, y'all look at here now. I need y'all to understand I'm a hood dude. I grew up hood, so I see through the foo-foo, right? But again, deserving families, we are giving $500 to 2 families, right? So we're giving away $1,000 for this cash Christmas for them to be able to make sure that they have what they need. So again, you'll see more about that coming out here in the next little bit. So again, if you know that, again, you can reach out to us and we can talk about it. And additionally, we are creating our what we're going to call our annual Ugly Sweater Christmas party, where we're going to have a game of money shots. And so, Kanisha, were you there at money shots last year?
I was, and I lost horribly.
So talk about it. What'd you think about money shots last year?
I love the game. But I was a loser. I just kept picking the wrong shots.
Okay. And for y'all start saying, not the preacher out there giving away shots. No, we do have concoctions. It's non-alcoholic. It's definitely family friendly. And as a matter of fact, the joker that won all the money was a child.
Was a kid.
Yeah. Look, Ashton Musgrove. He won what, $150 or something like that? Or did he win all of it?
He won all the money.
He won $200. And I started to rob him, but I ain't want nobody to talk about us, right? But we're gonna have our Ugly Sweater Christmas party. We're gonna do our money shots, and so we're gonna have some little light refreshments and things of that nature. So again, more to come about that as well, because again, our goal is to give back. Our goal is to make sure that we have a good time. And so we're looking to we'll have more about the date, about when that's going to be. All right. Well, listen, that's our time today. Again, super proud of you, Kanisha. Super proud of what you got going on there. What you're getting ready to get started with that Next Level Legacy organization. And so everybody out there, as y'all know, as I always say, knowledge is not power until it's applied. You can have an 18-wheeler truck gassed up, ready to go, but until you apply that clutch and put it in gear, it's not going anywhere. So make sure what you've heard here, you apply it to your life so that you can take your family to the next level. I'm your man, Rod Hickman, Generational Wealth Builders. Take care. Bye-bye, and bye-bye. All right, we'll holler.